What's going on? What's going on, guys? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live, going up on a Tuesday, as they say. Just give me a moment. I will have a Doge chart on the screen momentarily. I forgot to prep that one, so my apologies for that, but that will get into line here momentarily. What is going on? A lot of familiar names in the chat, some new folks as well. A nice combination. That's what we like to see. There we go. Yeah, got a great show lined up for you tonight. Some very entertaining things to cover tonight, and we are going to get down to it, boppers. But before we begin, if I could just ask you to smash that like button. I want you to smash that like button like you'd smash that first childhood celebrity crush. It's the number one thing you can do to help out the channel. Also, if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. You're watching Steele live. I'm, of course, Steele. It's great to have you with us tonight, and we have an awesome community here. I want you to be a part of it, so make sure you hit subscribe, hit all on that notification bell. Also, if you feel compelled to super chat anymore throughout the duration of this broadcast, that's immensely helpful for all the time and efforts put forth. And lastly, if you haven't already signed up with WEBULL, I'm a partner with WEBULL. The link is pinned at the top of the chat where you can get 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 free stocks through WEBULL right now for a limited time through the 10th. So if you haven't already taken advantage of that, that's free money on the table. And all you have to do is complete the registration of the WEBULL account and deposit as little as $1, 1 penny even, to qualify to automatically get those free stocks. Let's use in the chat tonight. We have got Scott Herforth, we got the Hump Deezy, we got Jason Huffman, yes. We got Zaxi, we got Chica Doge, yes. A name so nice, you gotta say it twice, right, folks? We got Wildin' Out, we've got Keith. Good to see you, Keith. Abstractus Artemis, of course, Audio Freak in the mix, trucking all day. We love trucking all day. He's our favorite Doge-centric trucker out there doing it to it. Michael Lawrence, good to see you. Who else we got? Hunter Wayne, Julio, Jeremy Abbott. Jeremy, haven't seen you in a bit. Good to see you back in the mix. Of course, Swift Limpiski, and Alan Schneider. I think that about covers it for everyone that's active in the chat. The rest of them are just lurking at this time. Anyway, great to see each and every one of you guys. So, without any further ado, let me get to my notes here, and let's go to the top of it. FX Street now reporting today. Dogecoin price to dodge a sell-off target of 25 cents. Dogecoin price hits new 3-week high, rally halted against 2 primary resistance levels. Some profit taking after a big rally expected. Downside risks are limited. Dogecoin price is coming off some intense buying pressure that capped off price levels not seen since January 17th. As a result, a slight pause here should be expected as bulls and bears digest the recent rally. Now, this is pretty typical that what we are seeing in the wake of the very bullish trends that we experienced last night. Those of you who watched last night's show, I said don't be surprised if we see retracement the day after. This is perfectly normal. This is perfectly normal in context. Nothing to be alarmed about. And as FX Street so eloquently stated, this is to be expected as the bulls and bears digest last night's rally. Dogecoin price hit its primary resistance level on the daily chart against in the bottom at 17 cents. A pullback at 15.5 cent level. And the daily on Tenkan Sen will be critical for the future upcoming trend. If the Sen holds its support, then it's very likely that a new bullish expansion phase will begin for Dogecoin. Therefore, a future breakout on the daily chart should not be overly complicated from today, February 8th, until February 16th. The cloud gets thinner. Thin clouds represent weakness and are generally easy for prices to move through. So we have been in more layman's terms, we have been breaking down key levels of resistance to make the ascendancy for Dogecoin much easier in the next 10 days, which increases the probability, of course, for the value of Dogecoin to happen over the course of the next 2 weeks. Jason Huffman, is that Jason? Yeah, Jason Huffman starting things off, the first super chat of the night. $5 to make you holler. Party time. Excellent. Love it. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, I don't really have anything more to add to FX Street's observations there. Now, let's just get right into it. Let's get right into the topic that I have listed for tonight's show, and the topic in the thumbnail, and that is Elon Musk's Starlink. Very well could make Dogecoin unstoppable. And this is a topic that I've discussed in the past several times, but I thought it was a good time to round back to it. I think it's a good time to round back to it. And the more I keep thinking about it, the more I almost think this is an inevitability. And what kind of sparked me to think about it and bring it up again in tonight's show is a blog I came across, a blog post written by Kim Lee about this very topic that he put out a couple weeks ago. And it raised a lot of the same points that I have. And let me just skim through it for you. The article states the Dogecoin Foundation has released a roadmap that includes a project that will see blockchain Dogecoin partner with Elon Musk's internet service Starlink to enable Dogecoin transactions in remote locations. Details of the project, called Radio Doge, should be unlocked as it takes shape, according to the Dogecoin Foundation. The news aroused some enthusiasm in the Dogecoin community, according to several cryptocurrency YouTubers and Dogecoin backers. The integration essentially could make Dogecoin unstoppable. Now listen, Starlink is the internet service powered by SpaceX's constellation satellites, according to research earlier this year by Arthur Garvaeus, a lecturer at Imperial College of London. The network's transaction reach by several orders of magnitude. According to the research with the internet service provided by optical fiber, the estimated round trip time between London and Singapore is 159 ms. Well, on Starlink, it is 108 ms. Now, Dogecoin. How does Dogecoin relate to this? Dogecoin could very well, guys, increase the scope of transactions by a very, very significant margin to engage in a dedicated Starlink network. I believe this could be, I didn't even go out so far on a limb. I do think that this Radio Doge program isn't being talked about enough. I think this could be just a tremendous long-term game changer for Dogecoin to really effectively establish Dogecoin in a much more both efficient and global sense. So, regardless of market, participants are excited for Dogecoin to start the new year and get things going for various reasons. And many of those reasons that we've discussed here on the show. Now, Radio Doge is going to make Dogecoin even all that more tangible, all that more accessible throughout the globe and in areas where it previously wasn't before. And the transaction speeds and low fees that are going to be paired with Starlink are going to be, I believe, astronomical game changers. Absolutely astronomical game changers. So, can Starlink make Dogecoin unstoppable? I think it's a high probability that Radio Doge will be one of the primary catalysts to making Dogecoin unstoppable. That's how I feel about it, folks. I think the Radio Doge project is both incredibly ambitious, impressive, and exciting. And I am super excited. I think it's going to bring about a tremendous wave of Dogementum sweeping the nation. Dan the Man, yo Steve, hope you're doing well. Thank you, Dan the Man. Good to see you in the mix. Mama Crypto is in the house as well. Good to see you, Mama Crypto. Thanks for holding things down in the chat. All right. So, yeah, Radio Doge is just a phenomenal thing that's going to be taking place throughout 2022, and I cannot wait for the next time that my friend Ross Nickel to be on the show to discuss such matters. And I was supposed to get other Dogecoin developer on here, Tim Stebbings, but he's been incredibly busy. I know the whole Dogecoin Foundation has been. So I will touch base with him too and see if we can make that a reality. Getting him a guest here on the program as well to discuss essentially the Dogecoin 2022 trail map. This one come courtesy of Cointelegraph. Comedic rapper charged over Bitfinex hack laundering, out on bail. Heather Morgan, who goes by the rap name Razzlecon, is a self-proclaimed serial entrepreneur and prolific writer. She's been charged with money laundering and conspiracy in relation to the 2016 Bitfinex hack. New York resident Heather Morgan, 31, claims to be many things: a serial entrepreneur, prolific writer, and irreverent rapper, and comedic, and maybe a comedic investor. Investor in B2B software companies with high growth potential. But her LinkedIn bio doesn't mention anything about her alleged capability to help launder hacked cryptocurrency. So she went down hard, and she was actually part of a power couple that was doing this. And I got a couple more stories on. This is a really fascinating, bizarre story that has occurred, and the amount that this couple was laundering is absolutely astronomical. I'm looking for the other article that I saw on it. Come on, where did I put this thing? Oh, here it is. Futurism.com did a nice piece on it. Feds arrest crypto CEO for Bitcoin laundering, but her real crime was against rap music. Ouch! The infamous crocodile of Wall Street strikes again. In 2022, so naturally the feds have brought down a Bitcoin laundering power couple, one half of whom is a crypto wallet CEO who is also an extremely bad rapper. Heather Morgan and Ilya Dutch Lichtenstein were arrested by federal agents on Tuesday for allegedly laundering, get this guys, $4.5 billion in Bitcoin that was stolen during a 2016 hack. So these guys hacked over $4 billion worth of Bitcoin back in 2016, and they finally got busted for it now. And she has a YouTube channel. She's taken down most of her videos now about how, I'm finally living the life I've always wanted to. It's a dream. It's like, well, yeah, you laundered for over $4 billion with your boyfriend. In its affidavit, the Department of Justice claimed that the spouses used some of the stolen funds, $3.6 billion of which has been recovered, to buy NFTs, because of course they did. The salacious details of the couple's alleged crimes are definitely exciting, up to and including the lengths they allegedly went to obscure their identities online while laundering the Bitcoin. But the aspect of this story that's perhaps most outrageous has nothing to do with blockchain. Morgan, the CEO of NPass Ethereum wallet company, also moonlights as a rapper under the name Razzlecon. And a personal of her YouTube page shows just how atrocious her raps really are. And folks, I did take a moment to scan through her music on SoundCloud. It's bad. It's bad. Oh my goodness. So it just makes, and she's privatized most of all this stuff already, but it just makes for a pretty scandalous and amusing story. It's comedic at best. Mama Crypto must have checked it out. I saw that rap video. No, says Jason Huffman. How can a hacker be an entrepreneur, says Alan. All great questions and comments, guys, believe me. Morgan describes herself as an expert in persuasion, social engineering, and game theory. I watched about a 10-minute video of her talking on her YouTube page, one of the only videos she has left up at this time, and I felt like I was on the receiving end of a conversation I didn't want to be engaged in at some hipster house party in Williamsburg. I was just like, deep breaths. The whole package, I was getting bad flashbacks to my younger days of being in one-way conversations that I didn't want to be engaged in. That's what it reminded me of. Mary in New York, speaking of which, good to see you, Mary in New York. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you for your continued support of the show. Good to see you back in the mix, Mary. Always great to see you. Anyway, I don't know if I have anything else to add to the story. It is worth a look. I mean, think about that, folks. We are talking $4.5 billion in laundering. That is just massive, massive. I don't know how much time they're going to do, but it will be interesting to see the legal repercussions of all of that, for sure, for sure. Now, New York Post is reporting today, Shiba Inu coin rises 52% in a week, leading the cryptocurrency rebound. Yeah, Shiba has had a strong week, guys. What can I say? Up over 50% in the last week. They rallied super hard yesterday to the tune of about 30% in the last 24-hour cycle. I don't know where they're at now specifically, but Dogecoin also rallied very hard. Shiba, Dogecoin, XRP absolutely leading the pack on yesterday's bull run, and subsequently everyone else seemed to follow, which was a very interesting dynamic to take place, and it was just very exciting. It was very exciting. So those who kind of maybe are shorting Sheeb or aped back in maybe during the lowest of dips, you probably had a pretty good day. You probably had a pretty good day yesterday. Now, Sheeb, which is derived from Ethereum because it's an ERC20, took a beating in recent months, losing 75% of its price after hitting an all-time high in October. Guys, they say that Dogecoin is a volatile is a volatile coin. It's got nothing on Sheeb when you look at the highs and the highs and the lows that Sheeb has shown. So yeah, just be careful out there. Just be careful out there. Next story. We are going to Cointelegraph. Cointelegraph again. For this one, guys. PayPal. This is big news. Listen up, folks. PayPal establishes advisory council for crypto and blockchain. Cointelegraph reporting today. Jose Fernandez de Ponte said it's crucial to engage with world leaders to understand the industry's opportunities and challenges. Major U.S.-based payment processor PayPal has assembled, now we know this is fact, has assembled a team of industry experts to act as advisors on crypto, blockchain, and digital currencies in general. In a Tuesday announcement today, PayPal said the addition of 6 members to its blockchain, crypto, and digital currency advisory council would help support its current and future products, as well as its goal of creating a more inclusive digital financial ecosystem. Fortress Investment Group CEO Peter Brigger of Georgetown University Law Center professor Chris Brummer, etc., a few other names as well, will be joining the PayPal initiative. We believe, this is a direct quote from the PayPal CEO from today, we believe it is crucial to engage with the world's best leaders to better understand the industry's most compelling opportunities and complex challenges. And also the general manager for blockchain, crypto, and digital currencies. So all 6 of the new advisors that PayPal has added to this essential crypto council is what it boils down to. They come from extensive history and experience with it. Folks, this is absolutely massive. PayPal just jumping head first into a future of cryptocurrency, a future including digital currency, and making it a very prominent part of their business model going forward. They see the writing on the wall. PayPal is one of the most major players out there as far as payment processing and payment transactions there are in the world. This is a very, very encouraging sign. And the fact that PayPal has basically tripled overnight, tripled the size of their crypto council, speaks very, very well. And I think it's really moves like this that are going to continue to increase consumer confidence in very strong fashion. So let's see what's going on in chat. This $3.5 billion crypto hacker girl is a trip, Scott says. Yes, she is. If you do some footwork on her, she is a trip, man. She is a trip. I will say she has an open invite on the show. That could be a fun one. Zombie Doge Army's in the mix. Good to see you, Zombie. Frank, good to see you in the mix. I don't know if I gave you a shout out before. Good to see you. Vario, good to see you. I think I got everyone covered there. All right, so this is major. Now, what is unclear is if the advisory group is aimed at expanding PayPal's foray into crypto and blockchain. Well, I disagree with Cointelegraph there. I don't think it's unclear at all. You're not going to triple the size of your digital currency advisory group unless you are intent on carrying on headfirst into digital currency. So I think that we're going to most likely see PayPal be one of the foremost businesses really pressing forward for digital currency and the advancement and adoption of it. So expect that. So I've become an increasingly bigger and bigger fan of PayPal. Let's see what else we got going on here. Here's another story. Bitcoin begins correction after $45,000 rejection. Where can Bitcoin price bounce next? Bitcoin is not home and dry when it comes to recent gains. Multiple pundits warn amid the first week's major correction. Hopes for 42,000 will be preserved. Data from Cointelegraph Market Pro and TradingView followed BTC as it neared 43,000 after previously hitting a new multi-week highs of 45,500. And I believe that that high was achieved while we were on the air last night. We had a great show last night, didn't we? It was my first time back on well over a week, and it's always great reconnecting with you folks. We had a good time. And it's great to be back. Now, previously, these had included both 40,000 and 41,000, along with several zones in the upper 30,000 to 40,000 corridor. For popular Twitter trader Mero, however, 42K needed to gain significance as an intermediate floor to flip the sentiment bullish. Either we get not significant pullback to go to 51,000 next, he summarized that day, or I wouldn't be surprised if this retraces fully back, leaning on the slightly bullish as long as 42 holds. I think the higher probability here, and I said this last night and I'll echo it again, is that we are seeing the beginning stages of pulling out of this bearish mode that we have found ourselves in over the last 4 to 6 weeks. I think we are moving and trending in to a bullish season, and I think we're just getting the beginning of it. I'm not discouraged at all with today's pullback, with today's retracements. I think it's a natural part of the process, and I look forward to better days ahead. And folks, we're going to have them. Make no doubt about it. Make no doubt it. Furthermore, I do personally believe that there is an incredibly high probability that Ethereum is actually going to flip in terms of market cap value, Bitcoin, within the next 24 months. That's right, folks. I strongly believe that there is a high probability that Ethereum is going to supersede in market cap Bitcoin over the next 24 months. By the end of 2023, I think this is very likely scenario. We have levels of adoption going on every day on the Ethereum blockchain that just cannot be rivaled by Bitcoin. The overwhelming majority of the NFT space is running on the Ethereum blockchain. The overwhelming majority of DeFi projects are as well, and the metaverse as well. So these things, as you well know, seem to be the predominant factors that are sculpting the future of this entire scene. In fact, we are seeing NFTs take off in such wide-eyed popularity that it's actually been competing with the crypto market and the popularity and the amount of money going to and from it. Now, I don't think that's going to slow down. Do I think we are still in an NFT bubble? To a degree, I think there's some truth to that. However, NFTs are here to stay, like them or not, and the overwhelming majority of them are going to be on the continue to be on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, when Ethereum 2.0 finally comes out, and there's been so many rumors and so many times that people have predicted when Ethereum 2.0 will be brought to market. That when that happens remains to be seen, but I do believe for sure it's going to happen sometime in 2022 here. I initially thought that it would happen for sure within the first quarter of this year. Now I'd probably put that at about a 50-50 chance given everything that I've been looking at, but I would put it at about an 80% chance that Ethereum 2.0 will happen in the first half of this year. This will likely have absolutely massive repercussions on the crypto market, because once Ethereum gets those gas fees under control, I think the price of Ethereum will begin to really come up and start to nip at the heels of Bitcoin. I do believe that the flippening will happen sometime over the next 12 months. Look, folks, and I think between the metaverse, NFTs, and everything else that is kind of where Ethereum really dominates, we could likely see Ethereum's value really excel to degrees that even the most optimistic, rosy predictions by analysts would not even see coming. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly, folks. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw Bitcoin somewhere in the neighborhood of 150,000 in 5 years or less from now. It seems totally doable, totally probable to me. I think there's still a lot of incredible big money to be made in Ethereum. Now, I do also believe that it's going to be a win-win scenario when you look at the Ethereum alternatives, respectively, whether it's AVAX or Solana or Lunaterra. I think there's enough room in the market for all of the aforementioned to thrive. To what degrees, I'm not certain yet. But I think there's plenty of money, plenty of room for all three of these to thrive in addition to Ethereum. So I'm not giving you any recommendations. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a dude. With my vibe, and I bring it, right? But what I've been doing, I have been accumulating and putting most of my portfolio focus outside of Dogecoin, of course, which is my largest position, to Ethereum and the most prominent Ethereum alternatives, whether it's Solana, whether it's AVAX, or Lunaterra. That's what I'm doing for long-term holds. Truckin' All Day coming in with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Truckin'. Appreciate you. Recently, Coinbase bought FairX and Crypto.com bought NADAX so we can buy crypto options in 2020. Do you think this is good or bad for those cryptos that will have options for sale? Interesting point. Thank you for the super chat. Interesting question that you proposed there, Truckin' All Day. I don't know, man. I mean, as far as I see it, Coinbase is an incredibly ambitious company. The CEO is an absolute bulldog. He's got a great work ethic, despite the faults and falters that Coinbase has made along the way. But to a certain degree, there is going to be some inevitability of rocky road. And it does seem that they are getting some of those things, have successfully gotten some of those things under control. Coinbase also, mind you, has announced that they are launching their own NFT marketplace platform. And I believe that if there's any one company that could effectively rival the likes of OpenSea, it would be Coinbase. It would be this Coinbase platform. So do I think it's a good thing? Do I think this is good or bad for those cryptos that will have options for sale? I think, as of now, I am leaning yes. I think the good is going to outweigh the negatives as far as that goes. And Crypto.com, their native token, of course, is Crow. I hardly have any money in Crow, not because I don't like Crow, because I don't have the money to invest in it, but I think Crow has a very promising long-term future as well. Hope that helps you. Jason Huffman coming in with a $50 to make me holler. All right. I love it. Big Doge energy coming in the chat. Thank you for helping to keep the lights on over here at Steele HQ. Jason, love you. Appreciate you. Thanks for all your hard work and time, and thanks for bringing us together. Hashtag SteelFam, hashtag The Real Deal. Steven Steele, hashtag Dogeventum. I love it. Jason Huffman Everyone give a round of applause for Jason Huffman. What a stalwart supporter, a gentleman, and a scholar. Jason Huffman is kind of a celebrity around here, frankly, and we appreciate him. Thank you, Jason. Thank you literally for helping keep the lights on over here. The Upcoin account is in the mix. What's going on? What's going on? Good to see you guys and that crew over there. Sliding Edge. Sliding Edge is also in here as well. Good to see you. So let's just get to the next story, guys. Let's get to the next story and see what's going on. We've got Disney is hiring experts to spearhead its NFT ambitions. Disney is advertising for roles related to NFTs on its website, a hint of bigger future involvement. The firm is advertising for roles across the Walt Disney Group, including Hulu and ESPN. Former CEO Bob Iger said in January that NFTs have extraordinary potential for Disney. Of course, this is coming. Of course, Disney and NFTs is such an obvious matching, right? Such an obvious matching. Not to say that it's going to be a foregone conclusive success, mind you. That remains to be seen, but it just makes sense. It really does make sense. And I'm looking at some different, in this story brought to us by Market Insider, they've got different various iconic Disney characters looking at me on the article, and one of them being a character from Avatar. And it reminds me of Avatar 2. I guess they did make a sequel, didn't they? Is it even out? Did it even come out yet? Sliding Edge, $2 super chat, sneaking in. Appreciate it, Sliding Edge. Appreciate it. So, let me tell you a little story quick. I remember back in the day when Avatar first came to the theater. Now, I wasn't at the theater at that time seeing Avatar. I was watching some movie starring John Cusack about the end of the world. I think it was called 2021 at that time. Now, keep in mind, I believe this was obviously the year that Avatar came out, whenever that was. Now, I took a break to use the bathroom and to get a refreshment during the film that I was watching. And I went to the gentleman's room, and there was a man at the urinal. In fact, I was already at the urinal, and the man rolled up next to me in the neighboring urinal, which is normal and fine, except for the fact that it was only he and I in the bathroom with a string of about a dozen urinals. So this guy literally was a walking meme, and he chose the urinal right next to mine. And then he started kind of swaggering back and forth like this. And then it occurred to me that this gentleman was 2 sheets to the wind. And what made this even more curious, ladies and gentlemen, it was a matinee. It was about 2 in the afternoon. And he looked at me and he said, "How's it going?" I said, Good. So what movie you come see? And I said, 2021. What about you? And then he looked at me and he said, "Arvtards." I'm like, "What?" "You know, Arvtards. And then it occurred to me, of course, he was talking about Avatar. I said, "You enjoy your Arvtards, sir." And I zipped up, washed my hands, and got back to it. So anyway, just a nice little story for you guys. Next story, we got this courtesy of Fortune, fortune.com. A Florida home to be auctioned as an NFT has attracted more than 7,000 potential bidders. Just wild. 2 superheated markets, real estate and NFTs, have collided in what could be one of the first auctions of a home as an NFT. The Gulfport, Florida house will be auctioned on Thursday with a starting price of $650,000 through a partnership between real estate companies Proppy and Heckler Realty. Imagine if that was really your last name. You know that's how they came up with the name of that business, of that realtor company. Heckler. Man. Heckler. I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse. It's kind of cool because like the hecklers can be kind of like the class clown, right? Mr. Heckler. Anyway, Heckler Realty. The winning bidder will get an NFT, a digital token that in this case will record that person's ownership of a limited liability company on a online ledger. The LLC's only asset is in the house. Amy Heckler, the real estate, I told you, Didn't I tell you this company is named after someone's last name? Amy Heckler, the real estate broker for the property and founder of Heckler Realty Group, said Proppy told her that more than 7,000 people have signed up to potentially bid on a home. Leslie Alessandra, the founder of the Tampa Bay area-based blockchain company, who is the home seller, told the Tampa Bay Times that all she wanted to sell the house as an NFT to demonstrate the technology's capabilities. Well, I should say so. Folks, if you're thinking about selling your home, now you know how to do it. Just turn it into an NFT and you'll have thousands of bidders. You'll have thousands of bidders. That's a good thing. That seems like a pretty smart move. So they're not only getting their asking price straight out without negotiation, appears, but they get to choose from literally thousands of bidders. That's just incredible. What's going on in the chat? He said, want to take this to the stalls, said Emperor Doge. Good to see Emperor Doge. What's your take on the supposed news of Russia? What specifically about Russia, guys? Next story. Moviegoers can receive the Batman NFT. AMC Theaters has announced that moviegoers who purchased or reserved advance tickets for the upcoming DC and Warner Brothers film The Batman can receive a limited edition Batman NFT featuring one of 16 original designers. So it kind of seems kind of like a randomized kind of lottery raffle thing where 16 people will get exclusive, inevitably high value NFTs based around the movie. I don't know what to make of it. The trailer, I know a lot of people were really stoked about the trailer for this latest Batman film. I didn't think it didn't strike me as, it didn't impress me as either good or bad, frankly. What I will say is, hands down, my favorite Batman film is from 1989, starring Jack Nicholson and none other than Michael Keaton. In my opinion, Michael Keaton is a tremendously underrated, legendary actor, and one of my favorites, hands down. I think, to me, he will always be the best Batman. And I think, I've talked about this Batman, particularly Batman film, a couple other times on the show. But to me, if you haven't seen 1989's Batman, I would strongly recommend it. You got Danny Elfman in there, Tim Burton directing, even Prince is on the soundtrack, of course. You got Kim Basinger, who was one of my biggest crushes as a youngster. And the mood is ominous and fantastical, but it still has a sense of humor about it. To me, it's like the quintessential perfect graphic novel movie adaptation. I think Batman Returns does a really good job as well. Danny DeVito playing the Penguin, Michelle Pfeiffer playing Catwoman, just phenomenal. Between those two, for me, it's really hard to top. Now, I know a lot of people are big fans of the Chris Nolan spins on the Batman film, of course, with who is that? American Psycho guy, Christian Bale. And of course, no disrespect to Christian Bale, but to me, not that I find those movies bad, they just seem to take themselves too seriously at that point. And I think they did kind of an overcorrection off of Batman Returns, which was pretty horrible, pretty objectively horrible, where the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze and Chris what's-his-name as Robin and George Clooney as Batman. That was awful. That was atrocious. So I think by the time they revived the franchise and put Chris Nolan in charge, it's understandable that they want to distance themselves from that sort of misstep on the legacy of Batman. But I think they went, in my opinion, a bit too far and made it too one-dimensionally, too overtly serious, right? Whereas I think both Batman and Batman Returns, featuring Michael Keaton, struck the perfect balance, in my opinion, between action and the dramatics and sense of humor. And you still want to have kind of like whimsical quality. In my opinion, if you're doing a comic book or graphic novel adaptation in film form, you want to make sure you keep that whimsical vibe to it. That's just my personal opinion, my personal take on it. So anyway, sorry for the sorry for the Batman tangent, the Bat tangent. Get this, guys. This is some crazy news. Science Tech Daily now reporting Trojan asteroid that will follow Earth in orbit for 4,000 years, discovered after a decade of searching. Wow. An international team of astronomers led by researcher Tony Santana from the University of Alicante and the Institute of Cosmos Sciences of Barcelona have confirmed the existence of the second Earth Trojan asteroid known to date. In 2020, XL5, after a decade-long search, the results of the study have been published in the Journal of Nature Communications. These results confirm that 2020 XL is the second transient Earth Trojan asteroid known to date, and everything indicates it will remain Trojan. That is, it will be located at the Lagrangian point for 4,000 years. Thus, it is qualified as transient. The researchers have provided an estimation of the object bulk size, around 1 kilometer in diameter, larger than the Earth Trojan asteroid known to date in 2010, and have made a study of the impulse a rocket needs to reach the asteroid from Earth. This is pretty wild news, guys. So this essentially, this Trojan asteroid will be orbiting around and following Earth for the next 4,000 years. So you better get acquainted to Trojan asteroid, because it's going to be a part of our existence and of multiple generations to come. Hopefully we won't be destroyed by an asteroid taking a direct hit by then, right? Let's see here. Scott Herforth, this town needs an enema. One of my favorite lines. One of my favorite lines in that movie is delivered by Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson is the best Joker, in my opinion. Just phenomenal. Yeah, there's so many great one-liners in there. Again, if you haven't seen Batman for 1989 and Batman Returns, highly recommend it. Stream it tonight. Thank me tomorrow. Take it from your man, Real Deal. Now, let's get to the next one here, guys. A bit of good news coming out of Washington, believe it or not. Bipartisan bill to eliminate taxes for small Bitcoin transactions. The proposed legislation seeks to reduce friction in the usage of Bitcoin as a daily currency. A bipartisan bill introduced Thursday would exempt Bitcoin transactions from tax obligations if the associated capital gains are $200 or less, seeking to incentivize the digital currency's usage as a medium of exchange in the U.S. economy. I mean, this is good news. It's not as big of news, good of news as I had hoped, particularly when you read the headline, but $200 or less, I mean, thanks, I guess, but how about like $2,000 or less? How about $2,000 or less? Come on, they can do better. They can do better. But what can we expect? What can we expect out of a bipartisan bill from Washington, but something pretty milquetoast? I mean, that's pretty milquetoast. I mean, it's a step in the right direction, but free of tax obligations and the associated capital gains are $200 or less. Like, thanks, I guess. How about at least $2,000 or less? That would be now that would be legislation you could be proud of. This is kind of like, that's all right. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, thanks. Alan says, if an asteroid comes, I'm pretty done after that. What would you guys do, honestly? What would you do if you knew imminent destruction of planet Earth was coming in 24 hours from right now by being hit with a asteroid that would take you out? What would you do? What would you do in your remaining 24 hours? I think I would stream. I think I would have the end of the world stream. Maybe we could all spend it a bit together. Of course, I would reach out and try to see or at least communicate with all of my family and loved ones. But in addition to that, I think I'd have the end of the world stream. Maybe it'd be that maybe we could all maybe I'd just stream until I couldn't stream anymore. Maybe that's what we do. Chico Doge, tell Steven Steele I love him. I will let him know. Thank you, Chico Doge. Thank you, Chico Doge. Mama Crypto says, well, that would be bunker time. That'd be bunker time for me. Yeah, maybe it could survive. Maybe those doomsday preppers would finally feel very vindicated, going into their deep underground bunkers. Anyway, it's kind of a humorous story I came across for the Babylon Bee. Movie nobody watched, nominated to receive award at ceremony nobody watches. Hollywood, California. In a recently published press release, nobody read. A movie nobody watched raised nobody's eyebrows by being nominated to receive multiple awards at a ceremony nobody watches. The movie was outstanding, a masterpiece of cinema, sure to inspire generations of film amateurs, said a member of an academy nobody heard of during a press conference nobody attended. The nominated movie nobody watched may very well be added to the long list of other award winners nobody watched from a movie studio nobody cares about, run by an executive producer nobody wants to be caught home alone in a room with. Other memorable films by the studio include the movie about a dysfunctional family nobody watched, as well as the historical drama about past societal grievances nobody watched either. The movie's star-studded cast of actors nobody recognizes will begin tours of daytime and late-night shows nobody can stand watching, while movie critics nobody has heard of will soon voice their own opinions nobody asked for on podcasts nobody has downloaded. Hollywood columnists nobody reads are already reporting one actor nobody likes is nominated for a category nobody knew existed, has already begun writing an acceptance speech nobody will hear. I gotta say, that is, to me anyway, that is one of the funnier stories I have written that I had seen from the Babylon Bee. Oh, I love it. Bloomberg reporting Musk blasts media for relentless hate stream of bad news. Elon Musk took to Twitter Tuesday morning in Asia to criticize traditional media for pumping out a relentless hate stream of bad news. I don't know how many of you saw this, but again, those of you who haven't been following Elon Musk for the last month are really missing out. Elon Musk didn't take the red pill. He took the whole darn bottle. In a string of tweets and replies to his other posts, the Tesla CEO lamented that it was so hard to find out what's going on in the world without being bombarded with news that makes one hungry. That is a Freudian slip because I am hungry. I've hardly had anything to eat today, so... Musk lashed out at the media for focusing relentlessly on bad news, saying it doesn't give an accurate representation of reality. In a reply to another user, Elon said, "Careless negativity destruction is much harder than thoughtful positivity creation." The tweets came a few hours after Bill Winton, director in research of the ARK Investment Management, tweeted, "It is deeply weird that the internet tried to bully, threaten, extort, and browbeat us into giving up on Tesla. The electric car pioneer that sold more than 936,000 cars last year, up 87% on 2020. Now, this is very interesting, guys. This is very interesting because ARK Investments has also been putting out some incredibly bullish numbers on what they expect to see from both Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin. ARK Investments has been putting up some numbers that are just wild style. ARK Investment predicting that Bitcoin is going to go upwards of $1 million in about 5 or 6 years' time, $1 million per Bitcoin. And I think they estimated that Ethereum in about 5 or 6 years' time will be hanging on at around $200,000 per Ethereum, and I forget what, maybe they didn't do a Dogecoin prediction. I'd have to double check on my sources for that. But wow, can you imagine a $200,000 Ethereum? I certainly can. As I stated earlier in this show tonight, I think that the settings are there for Ethereum to hit 6 digits, folks, within the next several years, certainly within the next 5 years. I think this is very probable. Again, I do think it's a high probability that Ethereum will flip Bitcoin within the next 24 months. Shidoshi says, the way I see it, they already tax folks on their income, tax them on their goods. Why should they tax again when folks prosper from their gains and hard-earned money they invested? No lie detected, Shidoshi. I couldn't agree with you more. I just couldn't agree with you more. I think you, I like your sentiment there. I like where your head's at. Steven, don't miss Sliding Edge Super Chat. I am so sorry. Sliding Edge coming with a $2 Super Chat. Russia to accept a Bitcoin as currency now. Oh, yes, I did read about that. Let me check on that. I know I was reading about Russia Bitcoin mining operations. Russia set up to recognize crypto as a form of currency is now reporting. So this is some pretty new news, and I did glaze over it, but there wasn't much information on it at the time. So this is kind of pseudo breaking news going on here. Authorities in Russia are set to recognize digital assets as a form of currency, according to local news reports. Russian newspaper Kommersant reported this morning and later tweeted that the government and the banks of Russia had reached an agreement on how to regulate cryptocurrency, and they're now preparing a draft law expected on February 18th, which will define crypto as an analog of currencies rather than as digital financial assets. The report further stated that it will only be possible to use crypto in the legal sector with full identification through banking system licensed intermediaries. That one's always tricky for me. The news comes just weeks after Bank of Russia pushed it for a blanket ban on crypto in a report issued in January, arguing that the speculative nature of the industry posed a significant threat to the financial stability of its citizens. As part of the proposal, the central bank also said that the financial institutions should be stopped from facilitating crypto transactions. Wow, what an about face. What a turnaround. What a dramatic turnaround for Russia. They're obviously seeing the writing on the wall, just like PayPal has and many others. This is obviously very significant news in regards to global adoption. I believe that now that the government of Russia has figured out how to essentially profit off of cryptocurrency and secure their bags, they are ready to march forward. And they do see cryptocurrency as a catalyst, and I'll make no mistake about it, as a catalyst to assist in propelling Russia to be one of the world's most predominant superpowers. This is, in my opinion, a wake-up call to our government leaders and officials to not hold back the market, not straddle the market too heavily, and let people profit, let people do what they're going to do within reason as it relates to the crypto market, NFT market, and let these markets flourish. Let these markets flourish, and let more crypto millionaires and billionaires be made and put it back into their own nations, and developments, jobs, and everything else that goes along with that level of financial freedom. Now, let's see here. Oh, we got a hater in here. It's been a long time since we had a hater in here. I don't know. I don't understand it. It's like, I don't know, start your own channel if you don't like this channel. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. This channel isn't for everyone. I'm not trying to be a channel for everyone. If you don't like my channel, that's fine. I don't care. Let's see. If the Ruskies can accept BTC, then the world is ready to slide Dogecoin into their digital wallets. I like what you say there, Sliding Edge. I like what you say there. I agree. I am very, very happy and very optimistic about the future of Dogecoin, and still very bullish on the future of Dogecoin as it relates to 2022. We got so much to look forward to. And, this is a long-term journey. This is something that I'm in for the long haul, and I think many of you are here as well. I haven't been a fair weather streamer, as you notice. I stream rain or shine, whether the market is doing incredibly well or doing incredibly not so well. I just enjoy it, and I love the community that we've built here, and I'm so glad and honored to be on this journey with each and every one of you. And I do believe that over a long period of time and the long road of this, particularly as it relates to those of you who are bullish on Dogecoin, dog money, what have you, that we are going to be sitting pretty nicely, and most likely our future selves will be thanking our current selves. Let's see. Well, guys, I don't know if I have anything else. I think I'm at the bottom of my news that I wanted to cover for today. Yeah, that's about it. Guys. But I want to thank each and every one of you for showing up, showing out tonight. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I love doing this. And thank you so much. If you haven't already subscribed, feel free to subscribe. Hit all on that notification bell. If you already have subscribed, hit all on that notification bell. And I am really excited to be back in the swing of things, and I will see each and every one of you fine folks very soon. Believe it. Until next time, this is your man, Real Deal Steven Steele, signing out. Take care, everyone. Bye.